Police in Portland are making a new push for tips in an 8-year-old unsolved killing.
Tom Yamada was found dead on this day in 2017. Chris Costa spoke with some of his closest friends and also those detectives on this case about where everything stands now. Chris.
Brian and Amanda, Portland police detectives tell me they feel they are very close to solving this mystery, but they need the public's help. They're asking people, even if they've shared tips before, to send them in again. Police have a fresh set of eyes on Tom's case and say they've learned new information about him.
He come over every Sunday. He was supposed to show up, and he didn't show up. Where is Tom?
Sunday, September 10, 2017. Police got a 911 call around 4:20 in the morning. A man was dead near the corner of Temple and Federal Streets in downtown Portland. Police identified him as Sunao Yamada, known as Tom. Investigators ruled his death a homicide.
We're horrified. It was sad, man. It just floored all of us.
Police are still looking for Tom's killer, leaving Tom's closest friends scared for their safety.
Well, because there's somebody out there that hasn't been caught.
This friend says Tom was truly part of his family.
Any holiday there was, or if I had something going over my house, Tom would definitely be there.
In 2011, Tom lived here, 690 Congress Street, managed by Elise Adams.
Never any problems. He was a great tenant.
Until 4 years later, November 2015, Tom stopped paying rent.
Yeah, which was weird. He didn't pay rent in December either. And so on January 5th of 2016, we had put a 7-day notice in his door to pay rent or to move. And that notice stayed stuck in his door for weeks. And so clearly he wasn't there.
3 months later, they issued this warning. Tom had 7 days to clean out his apartment. He never did.
And when we went into the apartment, it just looked like he had just walked out. You know, like everything was just as it was. And that was very strange. It was very hard because, you know, I can't recall a time in which somebody had just like left like that. What was it, like a year and a half, 2 years later, when, you know, the news came out and we saw that it was Tom, it was just shocking.
9 days after Tom's death, police released this sketch. A person of interest. White, nearly 6 feet tall, a thin build, short dark hair, likely in his late 20s.
Did that help? Did you guys get a flood of tips after the sketch came in?
Having gone through boxes of thousands of pages of documents, I don't know if I could say that it was a flood of information, but I do know that that generated tips, and that's part of why we're here today.
Detective Dan Townsend is asking for the public's help. Anyone who saw or heard anything.
The person that was in that general vicinity is very important to this investigation.
Is this sketch important because this might have been the last person to see Tom alive?
Yes.
At the time, investigators said Tom was experiencing homelessness, but Tom's friends say he became homeless by choice.
He did it to write a book.
To write a book?
Yes, he wanted to know what the homeless people are going through on the street. Tom was smart. He wanted to know what it was like to live on the streets of Portland, to be homeless. He was actually going to write a book.
Tom had talked to him about being curious about what it would be like to be homeless.
That was something that we have heard from them. It's nothing that we've been able to independently verify. This was something that I had heard for the first time from the people that knew him best. And whether he was unhoused at that particular time or not, it doesn't define who he was, and that's why we're here to try to achieve justice for Tom, his family, and his friends.
How close do you feel you are to cracking this or closing this case?
I'm very encouraged by the progress that we've made in the past 16 months. Our investigative team is very confident that someone in this community knows something.
There's no way in hell that he would provoke somebody to do whatever happened to him. He was not that type of person at all. You know, hopefully they're gonna find out. Hopefully the person will come forward. I mean, you know, it's gotta be on their conscience.
Now, when we asked police, they would not tell us if there was a weapon involved in Tom's killing. They say they have to protect the integrity of the investigation. Now they're asking anyone, even if you've given a tip in the past, to submit it again. They're saying you can even do it anonymously. The anonymous tip line is right there on your screen, 207-874 8584. Police told us today that their text tip line not working at this time. And Brian and Amanda, one thing that's crucial, one city center in downtown Portland, tons of security cameras around on all those businesses in front. The issue is not the surveillance video, the time of day. 3:20 in the morning on a Sunday. Bars, businesses closed, nobody around, which is why they're asking for that renewed push for tips.
All right, compelling conversations around this. Chris, thank you.